Hey and welcome. So this week on the 2013 Copart Build we're going to be installing sound system and roof as well. So this is the AudioFormz Level 2 system. So what we have is four 6 by 6.5 inch speakers with LEDs in them. We have one rear 10 watt LED. And in the front here, we have 5 10 watt LEDs. If you go to level 3, you get 9 LED lights on the front here, and it gets a built-in amp as well. This is running the Rockford-Fosgate PM2X2 Bluetooth system, and we switch it here for different lights and so on, and we have an interior dome light, and it's pretty simple install. I think it just says hole through here, 4 points where it connects to your roll cage, and in the kit you actually get a remote so you can change the LEDs on the speakers and wiring clamps and so on. So yeah, let's get into it and install this guy. So in the packaging we have the 4 clamps to secure it to the roll cage with the appropriate nuts, bolts, washers, 3 ties, I guess for the wiring, just to secure it as it comes down the roll cage. To the battery, got a 30 amp fuse, pre-battery to the unit. You got your LED remote, and then the only manual you have is actually for the Rockford-Fosgate system. There is no actual install instructions, but pretty simple. So yeah, we'll get into it, and guess we'll clamp it down first and then we'll start the wiring. Let's get into it. So the first thing I think I'm actually going to do is actually run the wire first before securing it down. Make sure the signal works, get it all wired up. I mean, it's pretty simple to the just running the wire to the battery. I think I'm going to choose to run it down just behind the seat, then over to the battery, which is in the middle console there. What we're going to do, I think, is just drill a hole through the console, coming through the side, and wire it into the battery from there, and see if fuel lights up and runs, and then we'll secure it down. So I've taken the seat out, and what we plan to do is run the wire down from the roll cage down and towards the base where the seat usually is. We'll go along and we'll come through here. There's no wires or anything behind there, so I'm just going to drill a hole through here, bring it in so it's out of the way, so the middle console still sits down flush and we don't have to worry about the wires being in the way there. So yeah, round about here we'll take it through and should be out of the way, and yeah, let's do that. So we got the hole through, we ran the wire, so you just got to watch out. I mean, you can choose a few different places to go, but you're pretty limited. You've got the heat shield behind here, so if you go a little bit too further down you'll get in the way of the heat shield where these actual screws are securing. They give you enough wire to run it if you want to run it further around, and that I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to secure the upper roll cage there, the wire to there, and do that now, and then we'll cut this wire to length and wire it into the battery, and we should be able to fire her up and see if she runs. we've got it all installed. We did have one problem here. There was a faulty switch, so rather than just sending it back, I just went down to a local store and got one. Actually looks a little bit cooler, so actually thinking about replacing all of them with these guys there. But give you a listen and see what you think. We've got the cabin lights inside here, fairly bright, good lights. There is a rear one, you can sort of see come on, and the front. Then the party lights come on here too. I'll jump out here and we'll switch them all on, give you a good look at them. So there's the next day, so I'm going to finish off this installing this roof. We just got to bolt it down. One thing I do have to do, which I anticipated, was this roof doesn't fit with this window in. So when you actually lift it, the hinges sort of get in the way there. So I'm just going to cut out a notch just behind and in here, so the actual roof can sit down flush. Right now it's sitting about 1.5 inches up, so I think that'll be the best solution. Just cut that out. I'm not too worried about that. I knew anticipated to be a problem with that. Yeah, it's just around the hinges here where it comes up. Once I just cut that out, it should sit down flush. So I'm just going to take these lights out so I don't cut any of the wires in behind there. We'll just use a Dremel tool with the cutting blade on, or we'll just cut a notch out in there. Okay, we've cut the holes out on both sides now, just enough to let that hinge sit in there. It probably will void the warranty, but I'm not caring too much as long as it fits down around this windshield here. So I've done both sides. So now I'm going to put the clamps that hold the roof down in place, and we'll screw down and then see how this window opens and shuts. So we've secured it down, so I had to make another modification. So the back secured down okay at the front here because of the windshield. These holes here at the front, your windshield will interfere with getting in there. So all I've done is drilled it just behind the roll cage and secured it there. Done that on both sides at the front. Sorry, our windshield opened. I had to adjust the windshield and pull it down. And with that, I pulled out my packer from last weekend that I put on when I used to be able to lock this down. I would still use this if I didn't have the roof on, because you do have a gap left at the top up here when you slide the window down. So, but if you find a different way to do it, good for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it turned out pretty good. Looks good. Functions. So yeah, don't let them tell you that something doesn't work, something else. Like a lot of times they'll tell you that the roof doesn't work with a certain type of windshield. With a few modifications you can make it work. I've adjusted it. Like I ended up cutting those pieces out like we showed. We do have a bit of squeak in there, but not a lot. That should wear in. But yeah, functions pretty well. And everything should wear in time, so it should be good. But I think that's it for this week. Hopefully it helps someone out if you're installing one of these or looking to buy one. Otherwise, yeah, we'll catch you next week. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to catch up, get notifications, and we'll catch you next week.